Zillow shares with us a dozen mid-sized markets to watch. So let's take a look at this. I'm looking over at my little puppy, Finney. He's trying to encourage Pablo to wrestle with him. So let's take a look at this. Zillow, Dateline September 20th, 14th, 2020. A dozen mid-sized markets to watch. So let's check this out. Ooh, homes are selling incredibly fast regardless of price, defying seasonal norms. Boise, Idaho, Huntsville, Alabama, and Ogden, Utah top Zillow's list of the mid-sized metros to watch. This analysis heavily weighted home value and forecasted value growth, how quickly a home sells, their share of homes that sell above list price, and monthly sales counts. These mid-sized metros offer more bang for the buck than many big cities as people rethink how and where to live in the new COVID-era normal. For the love of me, I hope this is not a COVID-era normal because I hate it. Summer turns to fall, and the year has been anything but normal. The nation's most in-demand housing markets are not the usual suspects. A new Zillow analysis shows mid-sized cities like Boise, Syracuse, and Portland, Maine are now leading the country as the top markets poised for growth. All right. As remote work opens up more opportunities for home ownership, many first-time buyers may seek out a starter home in a more affordable area. Let's check it out. Boise, Idaho. Population 616. Typical home value $334,000. It's an up-and-coming city drawing young professionals, families, and retirees alike. Home values are strong and continuing to rise, increasing 11.8% from last year and expected to grow 5.6% into next year. Buyers are snatching up houses in record time here, with a typical home going under contract in little as 5 days. And you got those pretty red flowers, or I guess those are bushes, but look at, anytime you throw red into a landscape, it always looks good. Huntsville, Alabama is one of my top on my list, one of my tops. Population 417,000 with a typical home value of $203,000. Huntsville, known as Rocket City, is home to U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Home values have also skyrocketed, increasing 11.5% compared to last year. And home values are expected to rise another 5% over the next. So we got Boise 11.8% and Huntsville 11.5%. Ogden, Utah. Wow, look at that. That's fantastic. They got trees there. Looks like they do. No trees up there, but they have trees along here. And are they deciduous? Deciduous are when the leaves fall off. About 600,000 live in Ogden, Utah. Typical home value is $304,000. It offers the benefits of urban life with easy access to the outdoors. The demand in this market is strong, with 41% of homes selling above listing price. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a place you want to move if you're looking for affordable houses, especially if the typical home value is $345,000. Man, 41% of homes sell above the listing price, helping sellers who want to trade up and signaling there are buyers eager to settle in Ogden. Zillow is forecasting home prices will increase 4.6% in the next year, showing the demand for this market is here to stay. That's for a year. It doesn't necessarily mean here to stay. Spokane. Had a lady on my live stream a couple weeks ago talk about the north of, about an hour north of Spokane. She loved it. Anyone know, is it cold up there like the Northeast, or is it not as bad in the wintertime? It's near Idaho, right? So I think it'd be freezing. Is it freezing cold, or is it not as bad? I don't know. So if you know about Spokane, put a link in the show or a comment about the winters up that neck of the woods of eastern Washington, northeastern Washington. Spokane's been accelerating home value growth. I heard Spokane was a pit. I just what I've heard, what I've read, what I've heard. A number of years ago, man, this is before we moved to Texas, I had considered moving to Spokane and starting a financial planning firm because it was cheap. And all the research I did said it's kind of a pit, and I don't know if that's still the case. This is like freaking 15 years ago. But I remember thinking, maybe we can move to Spokane. You know what I'm saying? I just had a hair up my butt, so let's move to Spokane, and anything never came of it. But I just remember reading back then it was kind of a pit. Is it not like that anymore? I don't know the first thing about it. Never been there. Isn't that where Gonzaga is? Spokane has seen accelerated home value growth, increasing 9.5% from a year prior. It's hot. The market is hot for sellers, with 45.1% of homes selling above list price. I got to wonder about that. That just might be a one-off because of stupid commie virus. Competition for homes may be attributed in part to the metro's vibrant downtown, trail system, and growing microbrewery and wineries. I heard there's a lot of meth heads there. I don't know. Again, I don't know that to be true. Now, York, PA, I know is a pit, at least amongst people I know who live there. And I've been to York, PA. Didn't do anything for me. It's been a long time since I've been through, but I know there's a guy here who says it's a pit, so just be advised. And if you're from York and disagree, put in the show notes. I'm just going off what I know, all anecdotes, man. About 450,000 people live there. The typical home value is less than 200. What's the typical home value in Spokane? About less than 200. All right, cool. Less than 300, excuse me. It's weird how all the houses in the West are more expensive, which is weird because the West has all the land, because the federal government owns so much of the real estate. It's the oldest city on this list. Today, York has a suburban feel mixed with its history, and sales of these architecturally unique homes do not appear to be slowing down anytime soon. Home sales increased a whopping 75% from the previous month and are 17% above last year's levels. It's kind of like we had driven through a couple times. Carlisle, where the War College is, it's a nice looking town, but it also didn't look nice, if that makes sense. So like you go, you're like, wow, this is pretty neat. Then like one block over, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a very it's one of those towns like, yeah, I like it, but not where I want to relocate to. I remember thinking when I was younger that Carlisle would be a good place, and I think it's Central PA. You know what I'm saying? I said that, and I just remember driving through. I was like, it's got some nice stuff going on, but it had. I could easily see it having a renaissance. Let's put it that way. But I could also easily see going the other direction as well. So it's one of those ones that could have a renaissance and be the Greenville, South Carolina of the 2020s. Or it could go completely kaput and just be a whole, I don't know. Colorado Springs, it didn't do much for me. I mean, it's beautiful, but man, it was kind of a pit when I was out there. Surprised, lots of homeless people. You got the Air Force Academy there, some beautiful. It didn't do much. I was surprised. All the homeless people out there. About 650,000. Typical home value is 336. We already talked about that. Colorado Springs hot housing market bumps up the list with home values sharply increasing and poised to continue. 9.5% home value increase from last year and forecasted to grow about 5% next. Lancaster, that's where they had those riots, right? Lancaster, about 520,000 people. Homes are flying off the market with a typical value of 242, and home sales continue to boom. Sales are up 78.6% from last month. That doesn't mean anything. Homes typically going under contract within 7 days. Its proximity to a lot of larger markets, Philly, Baltimore, New York, and D.C., all within a 3-hour drive and great walkability, Lancaster offers wide open spaces and plenty of bars. Modesto, California, about 520,000 live there. The typical home value is 340, but then you got to live in California. Who wants to do that? Syracuse, New York, and then you got to live in New York and get snowed on. Who wants to do that? Typical home value, 154,000. 662,000 people live in Syracuse. I wonder if that's true. I don't know, man. That seems like a lot bigger city than I've been to Syracuse a number of times. I don't think it's that big. That's bigger than Boston. You tell me Syracuse is bigger than Boston? No way. But Modesto, back to Modesto, California. It's an agricultural hub. So that's good. I imagine it's probably in the central part of the state. That's Visalia, California, 442,000. Got that Spanish look to it. I like that. A vibrant community with small town feel and a gateway to the great outdoors. Home value continues to climb. Home growth is forecasted again to the next year, expected to rise another 4.3%. Additionally, more than 1 out of every 3 years on the market, 1 out of every 3 homes on the market sells above list price, indicating buyers are ready to settle down. Portland, Maine, my hometown, where I'm from. So you want to live in Portland, Maine, because you can say Josh was born here, born and raised. And you can jump, there's the Casco Bay Lines right there, the old yellow and red. Casco Bay Lines, the Abenaki. I wonder if they still called it the old Indian names. That might be racist. I hope they still do. The Abenaki. I always loved the Abenaki. Had an Indian head. It was just freaking fantastic. A population 514,000. Okay, that's a metropolitan area because Portland itself has only got 67,000 people. Typical home value 334,000. Homes in the Seaport metro community continue to grow, up 7.5% from last year, and expected to see about 4% growth in the next year. 40% of the homes are selling above list price. Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, I don't know, man. Rounding out the list is Michigan's capital, where buyers are active and ready to secure their next home. Population is 460,000. Typical home value is 170,000. Yeah, I don't know about that. Mid-sized markets. All right. Days home. All right. Well, that looks pretty. Did they get any comments? No comments. Now, let me tell you. Give me your thoughts, man. I'd like to hear your thoughts. We're missing something here. What are we missing? Lots of good places, but Chattanooga, Corpus Christi, I think would be on that list for sure. Knoxville, some surprises, some places being missed. But be that as may, let me know your thoughts. All right, we'll see you